a cold start to ragpicker Shankar's workday. He huddles for warmth by this fire. Then, after a simple breakfast of hot milk and toast, he sets off in his rickety cart to keep his first appointment of the morning. Just a short distance away, Rekha Devi is already at work, busy collecting hundreds of such discarded and soiled plastic bags. It's back-breaking work, but there's no shortage of these bits and pieces of plastic. With an economy growing at almost 8% a year, India now consumes 5 million tons of plastic a year and will soon become the world's third largest consumer after the US and China. But with growth comes increasing pollution. Ragpickers have traditionally helped recycle a lot of this material, but now a private non-profit organization called Conserve has come up with a new idea. It's hiring hundreds of ragpickers like Rekha to manufacture more upscale and avant-garde products like handbags, sandals and belts from discarded plastic. In the process, Rekha now earns about 3 times as much as she did before, about $70 a month. This money helps me to feed my children, she says. I have a house for which I have to pay a rent of $30 a month, and this money helps me do that. As the sun comes up, Rekha's load gets heavier, and she rushes to keep her appointment with her friend and fellow ragpicker Shankar. They quickly load her bag onto his cart, and the two friends set off. A few minutes later, they arrive at the center set up by Conserve. Here, another co-worker weighs their morning's collection to determine how much they'll be paid. Shankar says he's had another good day at the office. This is good work, he says, and hopefully I can continue to work here. I certainly think I can benefit from it. In the future, I'm going to have a family and I have to provide for them. I think this will be good for all of us in the future. For the time being though, everybody's focusing on the present. These workers carefully sift through Rekha and Shankar's load of plastic. Then the bags are cut by another group of workers, some of them so poor that before this job they had never used a pair of scissors and had to be specially trained to do so. Once the bags are cut, they're rigorously hand-washed in detergent. After they're aired and dried out, they're once again sorted and stacked into these colorful heaps. The plastic is then compressed and heated. And since this technology is still in the process of being patented, we couldn't film it. But take a look at this. The rebirth of hundreds of thousands of grimy and soiled plastic bags into eye-catching sheets. These sheets are then stitched into bags, belts, bracelets and shoes by trained craftsmen. Watching and supervising the entire operation are Anita and Shalabh Ahuja, the founders of Conserve. From just a few workers when they first started out 2.5 years ago, the Ahujas now hire 300 people. They promote from within the organization and plow everything they earn back into the business.
For me, it's a humbling experience that I don't know why it's fallen on me to do that. But I'm so glad that I have been able to contribute towards improving the lot of a little bit of people.
Shalabh Ahuja is an engineer. He's responsible for the technical end of operations. His wife Anita is an artist, the one who's designed all these handbags. The Ahujas now annually export such bags worth $150,000 across the world. A far cry from their earlier days when Anita says it was hard to get people interested in her work.
So I was very scared. Also, so many people were working along with me, believing in my dream, my idea, and I was not sure where I was going to lead them.
Some of Anita's bags are now being sold in London's boutique stores. Each colorful bag here can set back customers almost 40 euros or $50, but they're buying them as fast as Conserve can ship them out.
I think they're fantastic. They're so unique that I've never seen any other bags made from recycled plastic bags. I mean, you wouldn't believe it if you saw them and you touched them.
Rekha Devi also finds it hard to believe a process that started out in the slums of New Delhi could have ended up in London. She also has no clue that some of the bags she and others here help make sell for $50, almost 75% of her monthly salary. But Rekha Devi isn't complaining. She says for the first time in her life she has dignity and a future. Since I'm working here, she says, the condition of my house is good. But if I stop working, the condition will become bad. This work gives me food and allows me to live properly. Fellow ragpicker Shankar now hopes other poor people will get involved in similar projects. Schemes that not just recycle, but help build lives across the world. Satinder Bindra for Global Challenges, New Delhi.